wherever you are. Thank you for joining me on this platform and being open and willing to connect. My intention to start this podcast is to deepen my relationship with you through as many senses as I can reach, to share my story, to relate to you, and to play in this upshift that we're all feeling. I want this to be an enjoyable experience for you, to quiet the hum of everyday life and just for a moment hone in on the mountains in my paintings, breathe with the strokes, and be warmed by its colors and textures. I'm a visual learner, first and foremost, so let's start with setting the scene. This is my little home studio that I recently transformed into a meditation room. I figured that creativity flowed more naturally with the sound of water, plants, natural lighting, rather than piles of canvas, and everything else I ended up designating a supply closet to. This particular painting is an addition to my series, which touches on my own personal dance with belief. Over the years, I've felt this migration, like many of you have, from religion to spirituality. Though I'm so thankful and excited to be exploring the gray areas that lie beyond the church with you, I also feel this rooted sense of depression emanating from people around me. We've taken the jump from our raft, plunging into the unknown waters, trying to find what's next to believe in. But this time, we aren't told. We aren't dressed up in frills and taught to sit for hours and stare at one man at the podium that seems to be closer to God. We aren't promised anything. My internal search has been long, but definitely easier than others. Yeah, my parents prohibited Harry Potter as it practiced witchcraft, scanned my books at the library, filtering out all of my favorite spooky genres like werewolves and vampires. And on Halloween, the closest I was allowed to get was dressing up as Dracula's human wife. And still to this day, that one makes me laugh. My parents stopped talking to me for 2 weeks because I pierced my nose. But with all of this, I still had it great. The risk of it all deepened my love for fantasy, and my parents got more lenient as I grew into adulthood, knowing that I was still a good person regardless of my piercings, tattoos, and adopting a pit bull. And maybe I'd like to think that it caused them to look at others with more acceptance. Maybe Kat Von D with her multitude of badass tats and furless vampire-looking cats didn't buy herself a one-way ticket to hell after all. Developing a stable sense of self is the best thing I could have done. What is the foundation of your person? No matter what color you dye your hair or what one-liner false truths about yourself others try to convince you to accept, how do you finish, and with confidence, the sentence, I am blank? All of the fluff, the tattoos, the education, the fame, the endless variety of wigs, and how high you can stack your burgers may be important, especially in the world that we live in. But it's all a collection, not a definition, so why would we want it to define us? My definition would have to be something along the lines of recycled energy. And I can hear your disappointment, like a full diaper hitting the bottom of an empty trash can. But honestly, it's more magical than it sounds. I feel I've lived so many lives with so many more to come. And my foundation holds beliefs that help me embrace not only life, but the inevitability of death. The lesson I'm currently learning is how to choose not to suffer. There are things worse than death, And though pain has been inviting itself into our sacred space, like your roommate's boyfriend who eats all of your sun chips and never wipes the grease off the remote control, pain is also that push to growth that we need to finally say goodbye to his bean burrito farts and move the fuck out. Suffering, on the other hand, is the infestation of roaches, crawling on everything you own, even your desk at work. And these sex machines won't stop breeding and multiplying until you stop. Search your apartment and find out what they've been feeding on. So at what point do you say, I've had enough of this, and throw out those year-old pizza crusts? Is it going to be when one winged beast scurries across the floor harmlessly? Or when Robert the Roach and his family of 25 are taking turns using your toothbrush while sitting on their own personalized luggage? My apartment isn't completely exterminated, and I'm speaking metaphorically, guys, but my threshold for this infestation is getting lower and lower. I'm trying to remember that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. But if anyone tells me this during my monthly period, not only are they going to catch hands, but my feet, knees, and some sharp-ass elbows too. This piece reflects my belief in our ability to tap into our multitude of lifetimes as we carry the limitless knowledge of our ancestry and the universe itself. I feel that we're fine threads that collectively make up the tapestry of the universe, the fabric of existence. Now that we aren't fear-mongering and slapping labels good and bad, we can start asking questions like, how? Can you believe that everything we can perceive with our senses and measuring instruments only make up less than 5% of the entire universe? All you know about what you see, what is on land, in the depths of our oceans, which we still have yet to totally explore, mind you, in the sky, in our solar system, in our galaxy, everything is only less than 5% of what actually exists. That just blows my mind. And not only that, but the universe is expanding. Did you know that there's a black hole in the center of our galaxy? And it's 4 million times the mass of the sun? If you're interested, I could honestly dedicate an entire episode just to black holes and how small, yet connected, the universe can make a girl feel. And whether you lay back or get out your lasso, the world is going to continuously change. So how can we connect and make this journey as worthwhile as possible? Be it through art, music, dancing, gardening, throwing a surprise party, being hugged, kissed, acknowledged, saying please and thank you, reflecting, crying, listening, understanding, and choosing to filter out the suffering with a can of bug deterrent. I'm going to get cliche and say you have something unique. All that you've developed to be from this point where you stand or sit or lay, from the way your parents yelled at you, to suicide attempts, to how you were bullied in school, that you were molested, traumatized, domestically abused, humiliated, to the decisions you chose, how you loved and were loved, the skills you honed in on, the passions that grabbed your interest, the little things in life that you enjoy, your race, sexual orientation, class, status, everything contributes to this super unique, super cool, super you perspective that the world needs. Imagine only having perspectives that were positive, or only negative, or only from Canadian people, or Ethiopian people, or cis or trans. I could go on forever. I don't know when this turned into an Oprah conversation because baby girl ain't got no free cars to give out, but some people just need to hear it, so I'm proud of you. You're doing great. Take a belly breath. It's fucked up that happened. You're on your way to truly understanding just how deeply you are loved. Thank you so much for joining me on this small amount of time, but big for me, and connecting with me. I feel the utmost gratitude at this space, at kind of the Instagram family that I have accumulated, and I love you guys. Until next time.